Hi guys, I'm Miriam Cotelis. Today I'm going to do a quick session for relieving some of the burden that one might be carrying at the moment. This week I had an issue with my car. Actually, that's been about a week and a half now. And then I had an issue with my cat, and those two things together just was a little bit too much for my nervous system to handle. And then when I reached out to my friend group, I realized a lot of them were also going through things all at the same time. So it did feel like everyone was dealing with something. And um, what I normally do to sort of off gas some of that stress or relieve some of that stress is do a cogno session for myself. So I love to pair that with either an affirmation or a phrase. And the one that's been speaking to me lately is the one that's I'm going to put down here below, and it is, I cast this burden on the Christ within and go free. And that is a direct quote from a book by Florence Scovil Shinn. She's one of my favorite authors. Please look her up. I do own many of her books, and I also have listened to them on Audible or in YouTube, Audible. So, if you feel uncomfortable with using Christ within, feel free to change that to either higher self or spirit, or I'm looking at my notes here, or all the divine forces of the universe. So, um, whichever one of those works, I would use. In the session that I'm going to do right now, I'm going to use all four of those because I feel like all of them are kind of like these different notes uh, and energetic notes. And I think a lot more work gets done if we address all four. So I'm going to do a session that will help you relieve stress if you've already seen this video and you just want to go straight to the session, go to this time frame right here, and you will be directed to begin the session. All right, so let's get started. Um, we're going to grab our Cogno movement ball, and we're going to be starting with some deep audible breaths. Just feel your shoulders relax. Every time you take an out breath, and every time you take an in breath, try to fill in more and more of your lungs so as to get new, fresh oxygen in every corner of those lungs. Excellent. Now I want you to tune in to your current burden that you are dealing with, and you're going to keep your ball in the low position, focusing in on your current burden. Current burden. What is it? And right now you can name it. I hope you are alone somewhere so you can feel uncensored in answering. What is burdening you? What is the problem at this moment? If you don't have an exact problem, just start talking. Similar to automatic writing, something will arise, something will surface that needs to be addressed. All right, so as we move our ball left to right, real slow, left to right, we are going to start talking. Follow the ball with your eyes and tell me about this current burden. We're going to go from low to high. When we reach the top, we will do it one more time. Choose that in which you will tell me about the current burden. Eyes on the ball, and begin. What else? Eyes on the ball. Keep going. Tell me more. Eyes on the ball. Two hands on the ball. Keep going. Deep breath. Keep talking. All the way to the top. Take a deep breath. Start again at the bottom. If you're done with your stories, tell it again. What is the burden? Let's hear it again. Follow the ball. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. Follow the ball. Follow the ball. Choose a symbol, perhaps. Deep breathe. Talking. One more. And bring the ball down. All right. We're going to hold the ball in the low position, and I want you to tune in. Tune in to this burden. When you think about it, when you talk about it, where do you feel it in your body? From 1 to 10, how severe is this burden when you feel it in your body? 1 being not very burdensome, and 10 maybe keeping you up at night. What number is it? Breathe. Bring the burden forward. Look at it. Talk about it. All right, give it a number. Where do you feel it first? When I think about what it's burdening me right now, it's right here in the middle of my chest and on my upper chest, separately, actually. Okay, excellent. How big is this burden in your body? If you were to give it a shape or a size, well, how big would it be? Where would it live in your body? Try and imagine. There are no wrong answers here. Not an exact answer either, so don't get stuck there. All right, so you have a size or a shape and a number. All right, now I'm not going to take my glasses off, but you will. And what we're going to do is you're going to follow the ball in the path of the infinity, which is, if you don't know this, the shape of the infinity, it's a number 8, but it's a laying down 8. So it's going to follow this path right here. And it doesn't matter which hand holds the ball, but it does matter that your eyes follow the ball, preferably a symbol within the ball, and keep your head facing forward at all times. Okay? And I'm just going to keep repeating, I cast this burden on the Christ within and go free. Now, what's going to happen when we do this is you're going to have resistance. Maybe the first few times, no, but eventually something will pop up and say, yeah, but, okay? When that happens, we are also going to voice those objections, those fears, that pushback, okay? We're going to give it voice by just simply talking about what's coming up, all right? So let's start. Follow the ball. I cast this burden on the Christ within. And feel free to repeat after me if you want, or just listen and feel it in your body. Feel what kicks back. What is your body saying? I cast this burden on the Christ within and go free. I cast this burden on my higher self and go free. Maybe the higher self would be involved and help. I cast this burden on spirit and go free. Free, free. I go free. I'm free of this burden. Try it on. What does that feel like? What does being free of this burden look like to you? What is that version of you that doesn't feel burdened by this burden? I cast this burden on all the divine forces of the universe and go free. So we're calling forth all the divine forces of the universe. And we just put our burden in their lap. In essence, we are casting this burden. All right, let's do the figure eight the other way. I've been going this way, and now I'm going to go the other way. I cast this burden on all the divine forces of the universe and go free. All the divine forces are now looking at this problem with me. Take a deep breath. Now all the divine forces are invited to help, assist, support, inspire. I cast this burden on all the divine forces of the universe. We're asking for support. We're surrendering, trying to do it ourselves. We're now casting the burden, removing the burden. What does that look like in your mind's eye? I cast this burden on the Christ within and go free. I cast this burden on my higher self and go free. Sometimes those guides and angels we have are actually our higher selves. So we are allowing our higher selves to come forth and support us in relieving us from this burden. I cast this burden on the spirit and go free. I cast this burden on all the divine forces of the universe. Excellent. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a quick left to right, and then we're going to have a little chat. So left, right, call out the colors, blue, orange, green. Keep calling out the colors on each side. Keep your head still, both hands on the ball. Excellent. And let's do a recheck. Put your ball back to the bottom, eyes open, looking down at the ball. And just retell yourself your original issue, your burden, and try it on and see if it's still in that same location, if it still holds the same grip on your body. What's the number? Breathe. Excellent. Thank you. So this was just a really short session to help you address any very intense stress that you might be dealing with at the moment. And it should help to relieve some of that stress. And again, you might want to do it again in a day. As you know, I am a cognitive movement practitioner and I do work remotely and in person. And if you're interested in um, having us work together and me supporting you in healing or anything, please email me or go to my website, which is right here, www.catellasart.com. Thank you.